Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Lobo figure. Just the main man right here. This intergalactic bounty hunter, giant oversized figure, done with a McFarlane twist and looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Lobo. Here he's in the package. He's got a signature chain and hook. He also has a display stand and collector's card. This is a pretty big figure for $19.99. Great value by McFarlane. One side of the package, Lobo, DC's Rebirth. Other side, simply says Lobo. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode in case that helps anybody. On the back side, got Lobo posed up here. And here are a bunch of other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures you should check out. I got my figure from Amazon.com. Was supposed to arrive on Thursday. Arrived a couple days early. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with the display stand, a collector's card, and then his chain with a hook on the end. But before we look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Lobo, everybody's favorite intergalactic bounty hunter and overall badass. It's a really good looking figure. He's big, he's massive, he's intimidating, a lot of detail. The only thing he's missing is a bulldog and a bike. Wouldn't be surprised if we eventually get a deluxe version. So let's check him out. Starting with his face here. Hair a little bit wild, long, got some blue, some black mixed in. White face. Black around the eyes. He's got a nice little beard there. Biker leather jacket, ripped off sleeves. Nice sculpt detail on the rips there. Looks pretty cool. He's got this tank top or white beat underneath. Very nice texture in there. You can see it's ripped in a couple places. Has lines through it. His skin is gray. A little different than his face. Double jointed elbows. Double jointed knees, got these skull knee pads, these shin guards, looks fantastic, a skull on his belt. Detail on this guy is just fantastic. He's heavy, feels massive, got some spikes coming off his legs, and they're very bendable, they're not going to break. And then moving on to something very impressive, the backside of his jacket. Look at that, bite me fanboy, and it's all sculpted, it's not simply painted on. It looks amazing. Very nice McFarlane. I didn't know this was going to have this, and this pleases me greatly. Now, you can't take the jacket off, as nice as that would be. It's connected here to a shirt. His jeans look really nice as well. The texturing and the paint is really one solid color, but it comes off very nicely. Overall, I'd say this is definitely a home run for McFarlane. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I'm very pleased with what I've got. He has that sort of expression. His mouth is open. He's kind of grinning. Kind of looks angry at the same time. You can see his brow is wrinkled. Now you can barely see his eyes with the shadow earlier, but he's got these red eyes. Looks very nice. Look at that grin. Now let's look at his accessories, and let's start with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says DC at the bottom. It's got one peg for the pegals on his feet. It's very thin, very basic. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the figure Lobo with lightning behind him. Lobo from DC's Rebirth. On the back side, we have a little description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's look at his hook and chain. This is one of Lobo's signature weapons. He almost always has a large chain with a hook on the end, presumably to catch his prey. Now it's made of a sort of bendy, rubbery material. It's got a lot of give to it. This will wrap around his arm, and this will catch his prey. Here's Lobo with a chain wrapped around his forearm, hanging at his side. He can also sort of hold the chain in his hand, but the hook doesn't hang down like I'd like it to. Kind of sticks out to the side, so I think it looks a little weird. Here's Lobo wrapping his hook around Superman's neck. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 8 inches tall. Kind of translates to about 20 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down about that far. It can tilt his head from one side to the other, giving a good amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Can't see it very good, but he does have a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, just increasing the range of motion there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed knees, they go in this far, but they look pretty bad when you expose the elbow. His wrist has a ball in it, although it's sunk very nice into the glove, you can't see it. Rotate around, and it's going to be hinged as well. It is torso here, he's got a ball joint, another one in his waist. Rotate around his torso, go forward and back. His waist, also rotate around, go forward and back. Give him a pretty wide range of motion in his torso area. Legs, pretty much can do the splits. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation, not too bad, but kind of minimal. His legs go forward about that far. Back, not too much. Double jointed knees below that, they go back that far. Then his ankle has a similar ball in it, hidden pretty nicely under his shin guard. If it goes forward and back, can rotate, can tilt and rock, and he has toe articulation. Here's Lobo, the main man, coming down to Earth to hunt his bounty. Batman meets Commissioner Gordon on the GCPD rooftop. Gordon tells Batman there isn't a break into Arkham Asylum. Someone is trying to kill the Joker. Batman meets with some of his allies and sidekicks and explains to them they have to save the Joker's life. Damian asks, why do we have to save Joker? He'd be better off dead. The whole city would be better off without him. And Batman simply replies, that's not how we do things. We do this by the book. Batman now takes the Batmobile to Arkham Asylum. The Batman family finds the Joker. There's a trail of destruction from Arkham Asylum. He's still on the asylum grounds. Batman and Nightwing explain they're here to help him, but something's just not right. In the back, Barbara Gordon and Damian Wayne seem rather annoyed they have to risk their lives to save the Joker, but they understand what it is to work for Batman. They hear something loud land on the rooftop above them, and as they look up, they realize this is it. They start suiting up and getting ready for battle. Although Barbara and Damian are taking their sweet time, Lobo here starts pointing at the Joker. He's speaking in an alien language that nobody can understand. He's taking a very aggressive stance. Batman and Nightwing put themselves between the Joker and Lobo. They are not going to let him take Lobo without a fight. They're throwing everything they can at Lobo. He seems almost indestructible. He's so strong and powerful he gets the upper hand quickly. This prompts Damian and Barbara to jump into action, almost like they're defending Batman and Nightwing, and not bothering to defend the Joker. They're throwing absolutely everything they have at Lobo. Exploding batarangs, ice bombs, grapnel ropes. He's like an indestructible force, just moving through all of it. Our heroes watch in defeat as Lobo approaches the Joker. He starts choking him. He's going to take out his target, and there's nothing Batman & Co. could do about it. And as crazy as it sounds, at this point, the Joker's body falls off like a shell. Lobo's continuing to choke him. Batman is just watching in confusion. It turned out, Lobo's bounty wasn't the Joker the entire time. It was simply an alien fugitive posing as the Joker. Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl simply watch in shock as everything unfolds in front of them. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to both an Action Comics and a Rebirth Superman. I've seen him encounter Superman a lot of the times over the years. Notice he's quite a bit larger and more intimidating than the Superman, even the beefy Rebirth Superman. Then, next to several different Bruce Wayne as Batman figures. Now let's check him out, next to some other larger, oversized McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. here he is, next to a couple of other standard releases just like him. These guys all retailed for about $20. You may not get quite as much plastic as you do on Devastator or Grodd, but he's still a huge figure and a great value for 20 bucks. And here, next to a couple of larger McFarlane Mega figures. And then, next to a couple of larger Build-A-Figures by McFarlane. Now let's check them out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's Lobo next to the 3 Jokers Batgirl and the Hazmat Suit Batman. Can't wait to get the rest of the 3 Jokers wave. And here, next to the Joker Batman Robot and Blight from the Batman Beyond wave. Then, next to the energized variant of Superman Unchained and the silver variant of Curse of the White Knight Azrael and Batman armor. And here, next to the Curse of the White Knight 2-pack, Batman vs. Azrael and Batman armor. And here he is, next to some recent McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. McFarlane doesn't drop these in traditional waves usually, but these 4 were found together on a display at Target. Normally, this would be the part of the review where I compare them with some other Lobo figures, but this is actually my first Lobo figure. Now, it's not that I don't like Lobo. I don't know too much about Lobo. My collection is predominantly Batman related. I do have a couple of Build-A-Figure parts from the Mattel Multiverse Lobo, but he's not complete. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. Here he is with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from various video game properties. And now, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, Lobo's a fantastic figure. His sculpt and paint job are excellent. I cannot get over how cool his jacket is. His articulation's pretty good. His accessory is nice. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. For a guy whose collection is predominantly Batman related, that's a pretty good rating for a non-Batman character. This Lobo's fantastic. I don't need another Lobo. This one is definitely going to fill my Lobo needs. It'd just be nice if I had a motorcycle and bulldog for him. But that's a story for another day. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.